Good morning, and welcome to Tuesday Talk. This month, we're doing an entire series in our church about focusing on our friendships, and it brought me back to a Tuesday Talk a couple of years ago that I still find to be very profound today. I pray that you will actually set aside the full length that it requires to watch this next video, and that it'll still be a blessing to you right now. Let's go back and listen to Identifying My Fake Friends. Welcome to Tuesday Talk with Pastor Matt. Today's topic we're going to jump right into is pretty important. We want to deal with the topic on how to avoid fake friends. Now, this is important to me because friendships are hard. Friendships are hard on everybody. And this could be a valuable topic for you to be able to spend a few minutes with me to listen to. For instance, let's just go ahead and identify this. How do I know if I have fake friends in my life? The first great big trigger and warning sign that you should be able to pick up on is that they are constantly leaving you exhausted by it, right? If this friendship, quote unquote, is leaving you drained all the time, chances are you could be involved in a fake friendship. Now, here's what will happen. How do I know this person is fake? They will always like to be in the know about you, right? They want to know what's happening in your life and every detail of what's happening in your life, but they're very seldomly invested in you. Just because they want to know about you doesn't mean that they are pro you in these situations. Knowing the information and knowing the details is not the same as let me help. I need to know so that I can help you. That's a big difference between those things. Number two, it could be anything that you've ever shared that you confided in them, but they end up turning around and divulging that to another person. How many times does that have to happen where you tell somebody a secret and it doesn't stay a secret very long because they tell somebody else? A friend won't do that. A friend will not betray you. And that's happened to all of us a lot of times where you've told somebody something personal and private. You confided in them. And it doesn't matter. You're supposed to be able to lean on friends and weaknesses. You're supposed to be able to turn to people when you're hurt. And it should stay there between you and that person. A fake friend doesn't respect that. They won't hold on to your confidence. Here's a big one. This is a really big one. You ever been talking to somebody else and your name came up, right? They were talking. Your friend was in a conversation with somebody else and your name came up and they listened to it. And they come to you and they tell you, hey, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day. The first big thing I always ask is who. Names are important. If you're not willing to tell me the who was talking about me or who you were talking to having a conversation about me, I don't really want to hear what's going to say or what was said because you're not here to help. So who are you talking to? And number two, after they tell you everything that was said about you, the question should be this. What did you say in return? I expect my friends to be like a defense lawyer, right? If they're in a conversation, somebody's running me in the ground. If they're in a conversation and somebody's talking bad about me, my friendship with you should have been all the evidence you need. My character with you should have been all the evidence you need for you to say I object and to speak up. And maybe you're not that person. Maybe you're a non-conflict person. Okay, that's fine. I respect it. But let me tell you what you can do. You can suggest time out, hold right here, let me go get him. I'll bring him into the conversation and he can defend himself. Or come with me, I'll take you to him and we'll talk about it together. So if you don't have the ability to be able to speak up for me on my behalf, when you're having a conversation, somebody speaking negatively of me as a friend, then get me involved. I can do it myself. Because I know a lot of people are like, well, preacher, I'm just going to avoid conflict. I want to remain neutral. That's not my friend. I don't need Switzerland. All right. I don't. You are not Switzerland. You're my friend. Choose. And that's a fake friend. They never support you when it comes to somebody else giving you problems, somebody else giving you issues. How about this one? They're always on the wrong side of loyalty. When we interact with people, there's always going to be conflict. Not fighting, but just conflict where we have differences of opinions and we value the differences of opinions. But when they never support you or on your side of loyalty, look around. If they're never sitting at your table or if they're always the devil's advocate at an enemy's table, at a person that's not pro-you's table, they're saying a lot in their relationship to you when it comes to the fact that they never are on the right side of loyalty, which is your side with you. A couple other signs, and then I'll move on to how do you avoid them. I know this one might take a couple of minutes, okay? Number one, if you have a friend that is always judging you in comparison to them, that's a fake friend. Somebody who always compares you. Comparison is wicked and evil in any situation, including in friendships. When somebody's judging you and using themselves as your standard, that you need to get to their level, that's a fake friend. And then if you have somebody in your life that constantly is sucking the life and energy out of you, that just cannot let you be happy, cannot let you hold on to joy, fake friend. Now, I could list you 25 other things, but these are major topics of people you have in your life right now, and this is how they leave you at the end of the day. But the topic is, how do I avoid these fake friends? Number one, please listen to me. Don't bestow the title of friendship so easily anymore. Guard who you're going to come to in life and say, that's my friend. Here's the reason we don't. We're desperate. We are so desperate for companionship. We are desperate for inclusion. We are desperate for not to be lonely anymore, right? Oh, you can tolerate me? You can stay close to me? You're my friend. No, my friend. They're not. They are not your friend. So hold on to that title a little bit tighter, okay? Most people in your life are acquaintances. Now, when I say acquaintance, a lot of people think, oh, that's just somebody I barely know. No, that's not true. There can be a whole lot of people that is a friendly acquaintance to you. You're nice to, you get along with, you two can cooperate together, but that doesn't make them a friend. You can be friendly to everybody. You can be kind to everybody. But just because you're friendly and just because you're kind does not mean, oh, now you have a best friend. It doesn't work that way. So hold on to that title. Number two, evaluate behavior. You've heard it your whole life. Start being adult about it. If people show you who they really are, believe them. Believe them. They're not trustworthy. Believe it. They're not trustworthy. And then stop this. Oh, I counsel people all the time. It's my job. It's what I do. I have heard more people sit in my office and defend the behavior of the person that is abusing them, defend the behavior of the person that is mean to them, ignoring them, mistreating them. And they'll defend it. They will explain away everything. Bad day at work, bad life, bad childhood, bad circumstances, bad economy. Stop. If people are mean and ugly and rude to you, they're not your friend. And if they constantly are hurting you and abusing you, they're not your friend. So when somebody shows you their behavior, just believe them, all right? And accept it. But here's the deal. You will put it in a scale and say, am I willing to let this person go and be alone again? Or will I tolerate and explain their behavior just so that I'm not alone again? It's your choice, but that's a fake friend. That is not a real friend for you in your life. A real friend will lift you up constantly, but still keep you grounded. Transparency and honesty are invaluable assets to having a friend who still wants to pick you up and tell you the truth about yourself, but will also at the same time make sure your feet are staying on the ground. They're not going to convince you you're Superman when you're not. They're not going to tell you you can fly, so jump off any building when you can't. Number two, they are consistent. Listen, please. Consistent and constant encouragers to you about you, but they are very capable critics. The Bible tells me that faithful are the wounds of a friend. Some of the people in my life I respect the most will look me in my eye and tell me the truth. And some of the most difficult conversations I've had are when people would say something I didn't want to hear, but it is what I needed to hear. You expect that from parents, right? But friends that are willing to put it all on the line because this is better for you and can do that, that's what you need in your life. They are consistently encouraging you. They are complimenting you and always have your back, but they are also going to tell you the truth. That's a real friend. How about this one? It's big, really big. A friend will always include you and celebrate with you for you. They will be happy about what's happening to you in your life. A fake friend always has a means to which they bring it back to themselves, right? Every conversation is going to bring it back to them. Every situation and circumstance that's ever happened in your life, it's going to have happened worse to them in their life. They're going to tell you, this is how they handled it. This is how they went through it. Listen to me. People can be happy for you when something good happens to you just for you. They can give you the spotlight 100% and not have a need to share it, not have a need to hoard it, not be jealous of you and your accomplishments and celebrating you in your life. A real friend has the ability to say, I applaud you and I am proud of you and it is genuine. And then, last but definitely not least, a real friend will always be at your table. They will never leave an empty seat beside you at the table. Can I tell you something that is not in pride and not in arrogance? I want people fighting over chairs at my table. Not because they can sit with Matt because it's Matt and who he is, but because Matt's never going to be by himself. Matt's never going to face this alone. If I walk into a room and it's packed and I find Matt and he's sitting at a table and there's an empty chair beside him, that's where I belong. That's where I want to be because that's my friend. And he's not going to have anything that he's going to have to carry or deal with by himself because that's where I belong beside him. And I want to be the same guy. I want to be able to walk into a room and always have a seat at your table if you're my friend. And that's true. That's so difficult. I'll go to fellowships and banquets and galas and receptions, and I always pay attention to who's sitting at whose table when they could choose, right? Which table they could choose to sit at. The two last things are probably going to be spoke about the least, but are some of the most important. How do I know if I have a faithful friend? They are loyal almost to a fault. They are loyal to me and they love me. How do you know if you have a faithful real friend? They are going to be loyal to you and they're going to love you. And the truth is about love in any relationship, it hurts. It's difficult to face. I know it's a long topic. I know it's been several minutes today. Worth it, because I have been so disappointed and so hurt, so betrayed, so let down by so many people I thought were my friend. One of the worst conversations I ever had was when a friendship was coming to the end of its journey, so I thought, and we were going to be parting ways. And I remember looking this person in the eye and asking them, were we ever really friends? And the response I got was, I'm not really sure. And that hurt me. That hurt me so bad. How do you mean you don't know? You're not sure if we were friends? Because if you'd asked me, hell or high water, yeah, we were friends. So you need to avoid fake friends because it's actually going to help you have less hurt that you're allowing to happen to you in your life. How many real friends do you have? Would you say that you have 3 or more real friends? Then you're blessed. Do you have 1 or 2 or none? I would say out of all the thousands of people I talk to and I know, very, very, very few are in the candidacy for friendship because I've given that title away so easily to too many before. I love you, and I appreciate you spending time with me on Tuesday Talks. Most of them we try to keep around 5 to 7 minutes. Sometimes we get a little longer. We're going to take on and tackle this boundaries topic eventually in the future, where what good does it do for me to establish boundaries when people are just going to steamroll right over them in the future? That'll probably be another pretty hefty one that we'll talk about, okay? If you're struggling with friendships, comment below. If you've had things happen to you, you don't have to tell us the who, but you could tell us the what. What are some other things that trigger you and give you a warning sign that this person's fake? And if you know somebody in your life right now that's been hurt desperately, and you want to help them be able to avoid it in the future, would you share this with them? I appreciate the time you've given to me to listen to the entire thing today. I love you. I hope that you have a wonderful week. May God bless you. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again on our next Tuesday Talk.